Right, you're watching TVC Breakfast. It's International Women's Day today, and we're celebrating so far. I am so blessed amongst women this morning, I must say. All right, let's get to our next discussion now. Women are the center place in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. This is another part of things now. Now, according to a UN policy brief on the impact of COVID-19 on women, women make up more than 70% of the world's health workers across the world. And that is a number we need to have at the back of our minds. Today, International Women's Day, we are celebrating the efforts by women in the fight against COVID-19. And here in the studio with me is the acting president, Medical Women Association of Nigeria, Lagos branch, Dr. Ibironke Shodende. It's good to have you this morning, Doctor.
Good morning, sir.
You look elegant. You look amazing.
Thank you very much,
wow.
sir. Thank
you look so colorful.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Today is our day.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And we have to showcase
and
that.
in fact, I am thinking that it shouldn't just even be today. Every day should be your day.
Of course.
Yeah, because there's a mother somewhere caring for everyone somewhere every single day.
Yeah.
And there's a wife somewhere also caring for someone
of course,
every single day.
Just like we are saying that New Year's resolution.
Oh, yes.
It shouldn't be a New Year resolution, it should be everyday
resolution.
And that is exactly what we are talking about. It should be a daily thing.
All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Now, talk to us basically. I want to start from the impact, because you have been one of those on the front lines trying to not just be a mother to your family, to someone, but to be a mother to the society as it is. How has COVID-19 impacted people more, especially women, in a situation like this?
Yeah, once again, I want to say thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And giving me the opportunity to say something. First and foremost, I want to say Happy International Women's Day.
Women's Day.
To all the women and girls out there. If nobody is celebrating them, I am celebrating them.
We should celebrate
and
them.
I know the men in their own little corners, they should celebrate us.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, coming back to the question, COVID-19 pandemic is not all about women. It's all about us. Everyone, all encompassing. COVID-19 pandemic, at least since last year, it has locked us in. It has locked us down, but we have not been locked out. That is why
That's
you
amazing.
and I...
It has locked us in, it has locked us down, but it has not locked us out. Amazing.
That is why you and I, we can be seated here.
Exactly.
Even though it has done a lot. COVID-19 pandemic came with a lot of attending challenges. And if we look at it globally, many lives have been lost. Economic setbacks. Violence has increased. So many terrible things have happened. In fact, some organizations, businesses, they have collapsed. Even we, as we are seated, no matter how wealthy or how rich you are, you will know that something has pinched us.
Somewhere.
Everybody. That is why I said everyone, all have been affected. And coming home as a medical doctor, it's sad. It's sad because we have been put there to see that, people, they get better. But do we get better or even worse? Because the thing is that we have to take care of people, but who is taking care of us? Yeah. That's the question. So COVID-19 pandemic, as I've said, has done a lot. And has affected even those that we said, the frontliners. The frontliners are not only the doctors, the nurses, it's all encompassing, the drivers, ambulance drivers. So many have been affected. It's only those that have been affected that we know. We may not know what they are going through, but the world knows. And, if we really look at it, what is the role of yourself? What is the role of myself? What is the role of the government? Even the clients or the patients that the frontliners or the doctors, the health workers, they have been relating with, they have been taking care of them. What is their role? So that's why I said so many things have happened, because if you have to look at it individualistically, corporately, organizationally, at the basis of a government, NGOs, community leaders, religious leaders, even women advocacy groups, corporate organizations locally and internationally. What is our role? But once again, I want to say kudos to the women. Yes, we have been relegated. We have been taken as internal slaves. You know, slavery occurs anywhere. And
in different dimensions.
Exactly.
Too.
Because men, they may seem to pretend as if they don't know what is going on. But just as the last speaker has spoken, this gender-based violence, let me take that one as an example, it's not only, it's not a thing that, you know, men are being confronted. No, everybody is confronted concerning that. So I want to ask a question. How many women, or are you affiliated with any woman? I want you to answer that question for me. Are you affiliated with a woman or a girl?
Affiliated?
Yes, affiliated.
No, I have, because I have a wife and I have...
Fantastic, you have answered my question.
And I have daughters, yeah.
Then why are you against us? Another question is, have you in any time been helped by a woman?
Helped?
By a woman.
Amazing. So many times that uncountable times.
Oh, fantastic.
Uncountable times.
No, kudos to you, at least for being honest to answer that question. Because I always think that, you know, whether a man is affiliated, you know, to a woman, whether as mother, as sister, or to a girl as daughter, which means the onus is on you for that responsibility to be consolidated. So why the chaos? Why the competition? Why the power gap? Why are we pushed out? Why are we marginalized? If we all think about this individually and not about ourselves, about our own self-interest, I believe that things will go better. And that is why I want to come back to the issue of a COVID-19 pandemic or COVID-19 world. The last speaker said something about it. Women have been very, very fantastic. Fantastically fantastic in what they have done. Why? There are men there. Only that I don't want to mention, you know, some people, but in a way, I will say one or two. For example, the Prime Minister, New Zealand is there, Iceland is there, Germany, they are there. You see the amazing work they did, at least to curb the spread. We have men leaders there as well. And now the Vice President of the United States. Exactly. And then our own Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. That is just even recent. I'm talking because COVID-19 pandemic, exactly. They've been doing fantastic job. It's not because of their sex. It's because of the choice for good leaders. And that is why I love this campaign theme we are talking about. Choose to challenge. What do you want to challenge? They have been challenging, they have been choosing the women in their style, unique style. Politics, not politics. Expertise, management of, skillful management of resources. But men are there. And you see that in the countries where women are leaders, you see that the rhetoric is not skyrocketing. It's being curtailed. Whereas at the other end, we all know, if I have to mention, they make preference to economic issues rather than social life issues. They are forgotten. It's just like when we are talking about health is wealth. But I want to say wealth is not health. It's not anything that money can buy. Exactly. And then until you start, you know, from the scratch or from the foundation. Because when they said when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? What can the righteous do? And that is exactly what we are talking. Because we believe that women, they are nobody. They are nobody. But if you are not selfless, you know we are somebody. All right, let's talk about the issue of what role does culture and religion play in all of this? Is it helping or is it compounding the situation we're trying to talk against? Well, there are different cultural backgrounds. But with the advanced trend of technology, everybody is coming together. You can Google, you can go online, to look for one thing or the other. And that's why they say it's a global village. So, but coming home or even in other places, she talked about the patriarchy, the misogyny, then cultural myths, misinformation, disinformation, and stereotyping. Stereotyping. Like the men, they believe that, it is only girls that can do certain house chores. Whereas it's not. Because I want to say, assuming you have only boys, you don't have girls.
So you have to go and hire a house help or something.
And that is where we are wrong.
Exactly.
We have forgotten that any house girl or house boy is a child that is being delivered by a woman. The way that you are rich, you have delivered your own. She came through the same channel, just like your own came through the same channel. But because of situations, that is why they end up being house help or house girl. But what we are clamoring about is about women's rights. That house help there, that house boy, house girl or house boy should be somebody, can become women leaders. If they are given voices, if they are given space. I'm not saying space to push them aside, but giving them roles. Women, we are multitasking. We have multiple roles. Caretaker, cook, burden bearer. In fact, mentor, so many things that we do. But it's like, most of the time we are not appreciated. But if you know that this wife is a daughter to somebody, and you have your own daughter, and you don't want your own daughter to be battered, you don't want your own daughter to be mismanaged, mishandled, then you will do the right thing. And that is what we are clamoring for.
All right, let's come back to the COVID-19 space that we started with. From the statistics we read earlier on, women make close to about 70% of health workforce. If you look at nursing, for instance, you have more women nurses than men nurses, as the case may be. And women are there, not only even as doctors, like you said, not even just as doctors or nurses. There are so many other auxiliary health workers here and there. Talk to us from the window of welfare. This came up, or this has been on the front burner for so many months now, especially through the COVID-19. How is that changing?
Well, I would say that the situation is, I won't say status quo. I would say it's even worse. Worse in the sense that during the COVID-19 pandemic, at least from reports, being given, lack of equipment, PPEs. So it's like you are throwing people into the ocean to swim. Definitely it's going to drown. It's going to sink because there is nothing to hold on to. So they are already being exposed. Definitely they are at risk. And they too, they are human beings. In fact, health workers, they take care of people more than themselves. That's why anytime somebody would die, it can just be that, it's vomiting blood or just lumped. The time they are to eat, they don't eat. They make sacrifices for people. Whereas these people they are making sacrifices to, they don't appreciate. Patients, relatives, they don't appreciate. Instead, they slap, they batter, and you can't see that abroad. All of us, we go abroad, but do we bring that culture in to cultivate? Do we benchmark? Because everything we are talking about is about benchmarking. Even then, the people that are not providing all these materials, you are not motivating, you are not inspiring, you are not empowering. Then, where is that sustainability? Where is that quality, standard way of doing things, the best practices? They are from nowhere. All of us, we go abroad, but we don't do the needful.
All right. At the Medical Women Association, that you are the acting president in Lagos, what is your association doing differently to ensure that, considering the challenges that women face, how are you trying to, bring some shade of light to things?
Yeah, thank you very much. As the acting president of the Medical Women's Association of Nigeria, Lagos State branch, who assumed duty just a few months ago because we lost our seat in president, Professor Fumi Ajose. So I give a silence to her, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. She has been fantastic. Our association is saddled with many responsibilities, at least to make sure that we improve the health and well-being of the populace, the whole populace.
So it's not just for women. The fact that it's a women association doesn't mean...
Yes, the whole populace, but especially underlined for women and children.
All right.
So we do screening, medical outreaches in the communities, well-woman package in terms of breast and cervical cancer. Because when you nip something in the bud, in fact, the results will be amazing. And we discovered that many people, there is late diagnosis, late presentation, and people are just dying what we call preventable death. So which means we want to prevent the preventable deaths. And then that's why, we are really hammering on that, screening. Then as women, we have different backgrounds. We come from different homes. Home is different from a house. Home is a place of solace, it's a place of comfort, it's a place of liberty. But a house is a carcass. It's just ordinary building. It's like having two families. One is with a wife, another one is without. You go there, you see that where a woman is well organized. It's beautiful. Even if there are sufferings and setbacks there, that woman mends it up. But in the other house, you see the whole thing scatter. You men. Most times you scatter.
But some men can be very amazing.
No, that's what I want to say. Only that I want to, Some cannot cook. They just sit down, cross leg and be reading paper. Even though the woman will be the breadwinner, and yet it's not appreciated. But what we are saying is that, the role of women is underemphasized. And that is why, this particular theme is very, very apt for this season, and for every time. Choose to challenge. So what everyone is clamoring to is choose to challenge change. And we, in our own association, last year, November, precisely on the 2nd of November, we had our AGM, the annual general meeting and scientific conference. And the theme we chose was GBV, that is gender-based violence, a silent pandemic. Yes, a silent pandemic, a shadow pandemic, because we choose to change the narrative. And there are so many things we did that time. At least we tried to identify some people as a torchbearers, influencers, even an anti-GBV ambassador, and that is the First Lady of Lagos State. We went to schools. We identified some general hospitals whereby we displayed banners that please, we kick against stigmatization of victims. Because when they are stigmatized, they are not free to move into the society. Even we as health workers, how did they come to our facilities to access care? So which means the preventable death we are talking about can never be prevented. So, it's part of the things we are trying to propagate.
Okay. All right, we have to leave it here now due to time, but the women's celebration should be every day, like you said earlier. It shouldn't just be one day you make like a New Year resolution. It should be an everyday resolution. Affair, yes. You wake up every morning, you make that resolution, so it becomes continuous and it becomes intentional. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. Acting President, Medical Women Association of Nigeria, Lagos Branch, Dr. Ibironke Shodeinde. We really appreciate you.
Thank you very much, but I want to ask a question.
Okay.
What do you choose to change? Because as you are seated there, you are an informant. You are in a position to spread the news. Because women's rights are human rights.
Exactly. So, now, the challenge I will take there is charity begins at home, so we can start it from there.
It starts with you.
Exactly, of course.
And then with your friends.
And then we
because it's a ripple effect, a multiplier effect.
Agree. All right, we have to go now. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah.